The first half of HBO documentary Rolling Stone, Stories from the Edge, is filled with oodles of fascinating facts about John Lennon, Hunter S. Thompson, and more. When I was a teen in the 90s, Rolling Stone was the absolute coolest magazine a kid could get in the mail. I'd tote the oversized, glossy issues around in my backpack or stashed them in my locker, sneaking in articles between classes or at lunch. I'd disappear into the world of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, absorbing info on the latest bands, trends, and topical news that actually piqued my young interest. If, like me, you've ever felt transformed by the pages of a Rolling Stone, you should probably tune in, and drop whatever else you're watching for the next 2 nights, because HBO is here to scratch all your nostalgic itches. On November 9th, the magazine will celebrate a half-century of chronicling counterculture, and the HBO documentary, Rolling Stone, Stories from the Edge, is sharing some of the wildest and most iconic tales from the past 50 years. Filmmakers Alex Gibney and Blair Foster stick to a relatively traditional documentary format, pulling from the magazine's sizable and enviable library of revealing video footage, candid audio recordings, and boundary-pushing photography. Shout out to Annie Leibovitz. The documentary ends up being a series of short vignettes that go into fascinating detail on iconic moments in time. In the age of peak TV, this format makes one wonder if the film could have been lengthened into an entire miniseries featuring standalone episodes about certain writers, genres, and seismic shifts in culture that Rolling Stone is so adept at covering. In particular, a segment on Hunter S. Thompson's coverage of Nixon's re-election campaign remains so sharp and politically relevant that it feels like even an hour of screen time might not even do it justice. The handful of other stories presented within the first installment of the documentary are just as newsworthy historical nuggets of wonderful that are worth revisiting.